Meet John and Sarah, a couple who, despite earning a low income, managed to pay off their substantial debt within an impressively short time frame. John and Sarah were a typical couple, living a simple life in a small town. They both worked hard, but even with their combined income, they found themselves living paycheck to paycheck. Their financial situation was further complicated by an overwhelming debt that seemed to grow larger every day. It was a combination of student loans, credit card bills, and a mortgage that felt like a mountain they could never climb. With this debt was like having a constant, heavy cloud hanging over their heads. It affected every aspect of their lives. The stress of it kept them up at night, and the strain of constantly worrying about money put a damper on their happiness. They felt trapped and helpless, their dreams of a comfortable future slowly fading away. John and Sarah were not ones to give up easily. They were determined, they had grit, they had resolve. They knew they couldn't continue living like this. They wanted more than anything to break free from the chains of their debt. So they made a decision that would change their lives forever. They decided to tackle their debt head-on, to face this seemingly insurmountable challenge and change their financial future. Began to educate themselves about finances. They started budgeting, and they made a plan. They knew it wouldn't be easy. They knew it would require sacrifices, but they were ready. They were ready to take control of their lives, to take control of their financial future. They were ready to face the daunting task of paying off their debt. So they embarked on a journey towards financial freedom, a journey that would test their patience, their perseverance, and their resolve. But they were undeterred. They were determined to succeed, to overcome their debt, and to change their lives for the better. Let's uncover the process they followed to achieve this incredible feat. John and Sarah's journey began with a comprehensive plan, a blueprint for debt elimination. Their first step was creating a budget. This wasn't just about tallying up expenses, but also about gaining a clear understanding of where their money was going. They needed to know exactly how much was coming in and how much was going out. They were honest with themselves about their spending habits and made some tough decisions about where they could cut back. Identifying income sources was another crucial step. They looked beyond the monthly paycheck and considered other potential streams of income. Could they sell unwanted items? Could they take on a part-time job? They got creative and explored all possibilities. Once they had a clear picture of their income and expenses, they listed all their debts. They wrote down what they owed to whom and the interest rates. This was a daunting task, but it was necessary. They were determined to face their debt head-on, no matter how uncomfortable it made them feel. Now, this is where things got interesting. They didn't just start paying off their debts randomly. Instead, they prioritized. They recognized that not all debts are created equal. Some debts had higher interest rates than others. These high-interest debts were the real culprits, silently growing larger and larger if left unchecked. So they decided to tackle these first. They figured that the sooner they could get rid of these, the less money they would end up paying in the long run. Creating a budget, identifying income sources, and listing all debts were vital steps in John and Sarah's debt elimination plan. But the real game changer came when they decided to prioritize their high-interest debts. This strategic move not only made their plan more effective, but also brought them closer to their goal of financial freedom. With a plan in place, John and Sarah were ready to put it into action. They were on their way to a debt-free life, and they were doing it together. Their journey wasn't easy, but they knew it would be worth it. They were taking control of their financial future, and that made all the difference. Implementing the plan required John and Sarah to reassess their spending habits and explore ways to increase their income. This was not an easy task. It meant scrutinizing every single penny they spent and questioning if it was necessary or if there were cheaper alternatives available. They started by cutting down on non-essential expenses. Eating out, movie nights, and weekend getaways were all put on hold. They learned to cook at home, enjoy movie nights on their couch, and discovered the beauty of their local park. All of these changes, though seemingly small, added up to significant savings. Next, they looked at their essential expenses. They shopped around for cheaper internet and phone plans. They compared grocery prices at different supermarkets and opted for generic brands over name brands. They even switched to a more fuel-efficient car to save on gas costs. Each of these decisions, though it required some effort and research, resulted in reduced monthly bills. But cutting costs was only half of the equation. They also needed to increase their income. John, who was handy with tools, started offering his services as a handyman over the weekends. Sarah, who had a flair for writing, began freelance writing in her spare time. They also sold items they no longer needed online. Every extra dollar they earned went straight to paying off their debt. This journey was not without its challenges. There were times when they were tempted to revert to their old habits, but they stayed committed, reminding themselves of their goal to be debt-free. They also celebrated small victories along the way, like paying off a credit card or reducing their debt by a certain percentage. These celebrations kept them motivated and made the journey feel less daunting. Their efforts not only helped them save money, but also accelerated their debt repayment process. By making these changes, John and Sarah were able to pay off their debt faster than they had ever imagined. Their story serves as a testament to the power of discipline, determination, and a well-executed plan. John and Sarah knew that consistency and motivation were key to reaching their financial goal. Their journey wasn't just about cutting costs and increasing income. It was a test of their willpower, their determination, and their ability to stay disciplined. Sticking to their budget was their first line of defense. They knew that every penny counted, and they were meticulous about tracking their spending. They began to view their budget not as a restriction, but as a roadmap to their financial freedom. It was a tool that helped them make informed decisions, resist the temptation of impulse purchases, and keep their eyes on the prize. Resisting impulse purchases was another crucial aspect of their journey. They understood that every unplanned purchase was a step away from their goal. They found strength in saying no to the instant gratification of impulse buys, knowing that it was a small sacrifice for a much larger reward. This was not easy, far from it, but they discovered that the power of delayed gratification was far more satisfying. But discipline alone was not enough. They needed to celebrate their small victories along the way. Every time they paid off a portion of their debt, they took a moment to acknowledge their progress. These little celebrations kept their spirits high and their motivation strong. They were reminders of their strength and their determination, and they fueled their journey towards debt freedom. Motivation was their driving force. They stayed focused on the freedom that awaited them at the end of their journey. They imagined a life free from the weight of debt, a life where they had the freedom to make choices without financial constraints. This vision was their beacon, guiding them through the tough times, keeping them motivated when the journey seemed arduous. Their discipline and motivation were instrumental in helping them become debt-free. John and Sarah's story is a testament to the power of discipline and motivation. It's a story of perseverance, resilience, and the will to fight for financial freedom, even when the odds are stacked against you. And it's a story that shows us that with the right mindset, even the toughest financial goals are within reach. After months of dedication and hard work, John and Sarah finally achieved their goal. Imagine the joy and relief that flooded over them as they made that final payment. The weight of the world lifted off their shoulders. The cloud of debt that had once darkened their lives, now gone. They could finally breathe. The journey was not an easy one. It demanded sacrifice, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to their goal. But they persevered, and their reward was sweet, the priceless gift of financial freedom. Paying off their last debt was more than a monetary triumph. It was a testament to their resilience, their determination, their resourcefulness. It was a hard-fought victory over a formidable adversary. But beyond the celebration, this experience taught them invaluable lessons. They learned the true value of financial discipline, of planning, of making every penny count. They discovered the power of small, consistent steps towards a bigger goal. They realized that they too could take control of their financial destiny, and rewrite their own story. John and Sarah's triumph was not just about clearing their debts, but about reclaiming their lives. They were no longer shackled by financial stress and worry. They could dream again, plan again, live again. They could look forward to a future not overshadowed by debt, but illuminated by possibilities. Their journey has not ended. They continue to apply the lessons they've learned, to build their savings, to invest in their dreams. They've tasted the sweetness of financial freedom, and they've vowed never to let go. John and Sarah's story is proof that with determination and a solid plan, even those with a low income can overcome debt. Their journey serves as both an inspiration and a practical guide for others facing the same battle. Remember, it's not about how much you earn, but how wisely you manage what you have. Debt freedom is not a distant dream, but a possible reality. It's a reward that's within your reach if you're willing to work for it. That's it for today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and we will see you in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to watch other videos in the description.